Welcome back to Orange County Live. We're discussing how the arts benefit the Central Florida community, the role arts play in early child development and academic success. Now our conversation turns to how having a thriving arts community affects the economy. Returning is Dr. Mary Palmer. She is president of Mary Palmer and Associates. And joining us now is Scott Galbraith. He is the Vice President of Programming and Education for the Dr. Phillips Center. And we have Terry Olson, who is the Orange County Arts and Cultural Affairs Administrator. Now, before we start the discussion, we have a video message from Orange County Mayor Teresa Jacobs. Take a look.
The role of arts and culture in stimulating our economy is well documented. In terms of direct impact, our nonprofit cultural industry produces $181 million in economic activity every year, including 6,700 jobs in Orange County. Equally important is the boost that arts and culture provides to the identity of our region. For companies looking to relocate or entrepreneurs searching for a home, the presence of a thriving, diverse arts community is vitally important. But right now, the Dr. Phillips Center is at the top of the list. I'm looking forward to the impact that the Dr. Phillips Center will have on our children. The greatest gift that we can bestow upon future generations is the opportunity, and the opportunity to dream, to create, and to grow. The extraordinary Dr. Phillips Center will do just that, providing a center for fine arts, education, and rich cultural experiences.
All right, well, we're so glad that you're joining us for this segment because, as the mayor said, it's really, important to have a vibrant arts community. So can you talk about, Scott, how that helps draw some major corporations and attract attention to the area?
Oh, certainly. As someone relocating right now, I'm asking my realtor the same sorts of things that any new employee would as they're considering moving into an area, which is what is there to do? Now, obviously in Central Florida, there is an awful lot to do. But what people don't necessarily realize is that there is a very vibrant arts culture that already exists. Now, certainly the Dr. Phillips Center is going to help enhance that, showcase that, bring an even more global sensibility perhaps to the arts scene, to enhance the local arts that are going on.
And Terry, can you tell us about the program that Orange County has and what you do? I know you do so much.
Well, Orange County really works to develop the infrastructure and help support for our arts and culture to grow. We are crossroads of the world with 60 million people coming here, and at crossroads of the world are where world cultural capitals happen. So we are a young community, so we have lots of catching up to do in all kinds of areas of infrastructure, in our roads and everything, but also in our cultural infrastructure. So my job is to help develop that. We do that through some funding sources. We're the largest funder of United Arts, and United Arts is a place where arts groups can go as a basic operating support, get funding. We also have specialized cultural tourism funding programs for projects that can attract people from outside the area to come here and stay in hotels and pay the tax, which helps fund that, and cultural facility program, which the state in the past used to provide money to help groups build a building. It's been very sketchy over the last decade as far as state funding, but the Orange County has had some for that. So those are a couple of the things we do.
And you also have great art exhibits that are all over our county buildings, I've noticed.
Yes, also public art. We feel that all of our citizens deserve to have access to the best in visual art. Just like we should have the best books in our library, we should have the best art available. So the Orange County Chambers, which Orange TV shows to the world, we do change out art in there from prominent local collections, as well as from artists with a national reputation that live or work in Orange County. And we work when the county is able to build a new building that's going to have public access to commission site-specific public art for that.
Okay. And Mary, I think that Scott touched on something that you were explaining earlier, which is, people who are attracted to the area, coming here for jobs, they're looking for an arts-rich community. But these are people that, yes, they might be good at tech jobs, but they're also probably good at some art form as well.
Absolutely. Many of the people who excel in technology have a real interest, and we all know the story of Apple hiring musicians because he thought that was the way to get really creative people. So that happens. And you know, of the Nobel laureates in science, 17 times as many have arts backgrounds as Nobel laureate scientists. So the people who are really excelling in their worlds are arts rich.
Absolutely. And Scott, can you tell us what kind of education programs will the Dr. Phillips Center offer for the community?
A wide variety in activating the vision of the organization, which is Arts for Every Life. The education programs will really mirror that theme. And in fact, at the moment, we have a program going on that will be associated with our presentation of Georgia on My Mind. We are taking 5 community choirs that are church-based and bringing them together. So while each choir is highly proficient in their own regard, they are now learning how to be one more significant choir, and then they will be integrated into a professional performance. So even that sense of community outreach is an education program unto itself. So there will be adult education programs. We will certainly have within our building a series of classes for not babies, but toddlers on up through seniors. And that'll be everything from singing and acting and dancing, but also African drumming or rock band, or we'll have a Yamaha school for keyboard. And the goal is not necessarily to create the next generation of brilliant artists. I mean, it would be great if we turned out, the next Davis Gaines, who, obviously is a Central Florida favorite who went on to international fame with Phantom of the Opera. And that would be great to create the next Davis. But it would be more important to create another generation of arts-rich citizens who both appreciate the viewing of art, whether it's visual art or performing arts, who enjoy the creation of art, but have it integrated into their everyday lives.
Okay.
I think it's important to point out studies have shown that people that are engaged in the arts as adults tend to be more engaged civically. And this program is about getting our citizens involved with government, while people who are engaged with the arts tend to be more engaged with their governments as well. And all the way through senior citizens, keeping engaged with the arts helps put off dementia and the deterioration of your brain. Because again, the more parts of your brain that you use, I think as Mary mentioned earlier, the more your brain is going to be alive, right? And the arts use different types of intelligences, different ways of learning, kinesthetically, and more than just the mathematical, logical method. So more of your brain, more of those synapses are popping, and you're keeping alive. So it's good for health as well.
Exactly, and that's another thing that's happening in the arts in our community. We're finding the arts in places that are maybe unexpected. So our hospitals have arts programs and arts therapy, as well as performances coming in, as well as beautiful art collections that our local museums are providing to them, so that the people who are in those institutions are having a better experience and probably having less medication and actually having to stay less time.
Well, case in point, we'll be bringing in a performance shortly where it'll be a special performance just for citizens who are on the autism spectrum, who typically would feel very uncomfortable going to the theater, but this will be a performance specifically for them. And there are any number of stories of just children primarily who come to a performance that has been catered to their needs, and all of a sudden they overcome the difficulty of communication and they're able to speak. Not necessarily for long periods of time, but it's a breakthrough. So the medical application of the arts is a new and growing area, but it's so fascinating. So that'll be part of the education programs.
And I think that's why our medical school, UCS Medical School, which is one of the most innovative in the country, arts are part of that curriculum for doctors.
Really?
Not only because it helps the doctors, but it helps in the healing of the whole person. And Dr. German is very conscious of medicine being not just about prescribing a pill, but about helping us be more human and whole.
Healthy and holistic, yeah.
And hold that thought for a second, because we have a caller. We have Ray from Winter Park. Hi, Ray. What's your question?
Yeah, hi. I've noticed the art that's in the commission chambers in the Orange County Administration Building. And I wanted to ask Terry Olson how he goes about selecting which pictures get to be put up.
Good question.
Sure.
We have an artist now, Gomez, I believe is his name, and his art is all over the chambers.
Yes. There is a public art review board that approves art that goes into the chamber. There's only 3 exhibitions a year, so it's not a lot. And as I said, our criteria are either it's art from a prominent collection, so most all of the museums have exhibited there, as well as corporate and private exhibitions, or art of an artist with a national reputation that has worked or lived in Orange County. And if an artist, perhaps the caller is an artist, would like to have an exhibition there, they need to get in touch with me to make a proposal, like I would like to do this exhibition. They'll lay out their vitae, where their work is in collections in other parts of the country or that kind of thing, and samples of it, and would take it to the Public Art Review Board.
Okay. Well, let's check in with Carol in the chat room to see what the conversation has been like online. Hey, Carol.
Hey, Laureen. We started off this segment with asking people if you agree that building a strong arts community will help our local economy. And we've already got some great feedback, and I believe Terry Olson mentioned the same thing. One of our chat room viewers said that the Dr. Phillips Center will change the Orlando area into a world-class arts. And if we want to attract large corporations, then we need to have a strong arts community. So great feedback from our chat room viewers. I appreciate everybody that's been on tonight talking about their experiences, from their early stories to how their children are involved and how this is impacting them to how it will grow our economy. So you still have some time? Go on to orangetvfl.net and click on the chat button and let me know your thoughts. Thanks, Laureen.
Thank you, Carol. And speaking of the Dr. Phillips Center, that gorgeous building, I can see the construction from my office, and it's really coming together, and people are very excited about it opening up. So what could we look forward to in the next couple months from the Dr. Phillips Center?
Well, an awful lot, because there are going to be many different programs to help with the grand opening. Some of them will be free and open to the public, others will be paid and ticketed, but in particular we will have a couple of community open houses where the doors are open and people can come in and walk around and really get a look at the entire venue, including some of the back of house spaces and backstage spaces that generally they just wouldn't be able to see. So there will be some very unique sneak peek opportunities coming up quickly.
And people will be excited to see that, I'm sure. Terry?
And those backstage spaces are pretty exciting at the Dr. Phillips Center. They're not dark dungeon-like holes. The center, I know, has been created for both the enjoyment of the audience, but also of the people that work there. It's been taken in mind, and so some great spaces.
It genuinely is, and I've had the good fortune to see a lot of performing arts centers around the world, and this is unique. It really is, in a very positive way. It will allow patrons and students who are coming for the classes, the artists who are there professionally working, a very different experience of the arts. Students who will be able to see professionals at work because of the transparency of the back of house areas. And once people get a chance to walk around back there, they'll see what it would mean. But it is unique architecturally and in every way.
And I'm visualizing it as a very, active center where people will be coming and going every day. It's not like, the theater house. It's just open during a specific, time on the weekend or in the evenings or whatever. Is that how it's envisioned?
Absolutely. And part of the beauty is having the plaza that's out front is that will, to a large extent, become an outdoor living room area for the downtown area. So people will be constantly milling through that, and that will also invite people to come into the building and be a part of it. It will have a sense of accessibility, both emotional and physical. So that is absolutely part of the plan, and so far from all that we're hearing, that is the way it's going to operate. It's very exciting.
One of the things that art does is to inspire us out of the humdrum of our life, and to make us raise to another level of our humanity, I think. And I think the center is really poised to do that. It's designed to let you feel comfortable wherever you are coming in, but as you come in, to lift you up and inspire you as well. So
Transport you to a new place.
Exactly.
Yes. One of the things I'm really looking forward to at the center is happening in April, when the University of Central Florida will take over the center for 2 weeks and kick off that period of time with an amazing performance of Icarus, which is has music created by the great Philip Glass, and the story of the Icarus by Brian Greene, who will be here, and also John Lithgow, who is currently one of our film stars, will be here to read the story. And so I think it's just going to be so exciting. And the school children will be coming in to perform in the hall just as professionals. And so it's an exciting thing that the community will be able to share in.
Well, I think one of the beauties of the building and the organization, the way it's been constructed, is that the building is really there to be a palette upon which the community can paint. And there is a beauty about the lobby areas that is very simple, but the people coming to the theater will bring the color to the space. And so therefore, just by the act of going, you become part of the art in the building, whether you like it or not, but you are part of the art when you walk in the door.
Love it.
I think it's also important to note, although this is one grand building for all of our community that I hope everyone will at some time come to. We have arts in many parts of our community that are also wonderful, not on that kind of scale, but on an intimate scale, from the Garden Theater in Winter Garden, which is enlivening that west end of our county, to the Mad Cow Theater downtown, to our cultural community in Lock Haven, to the organizations, institutions in Winter Park. There's a lot all over, so there's something for everybody.
Yes, there is.
Downtown in a grand way, and there's something for everyone in a delightful, intimate way throughout our county as well.
And an unexpected way. You can even see the electrical boxes on the street corners are now painted with art, which is just incredible. So there's so much information, so much going on. We just have a short amount of time left, but I want our viewers to know where they can go for information if they want to go somewhere this weekend, or if they're interested in getting their child in a program. What's the best source of information?
Well, one of the great sources is the website that is entitled
OrlandoAtPlay.com.
OrlandoAtPlay.com.
OrlandoAtPlay.com. It's a comprehensive website that you can search if you're interested in a play for children, or if you're interested in something wild and racy in dance. You can go and search there and find out what's happening. And there are hundreds of organizations in a broad area of Central Florida that list their things there. So I would suggest going there, and you can even go, and I want to go to a restaurant beforehand if I'm going to the Shakespeare Theater, what's around, and it'll tell you what's around, it'll give you a map. It's a great place.
It's great. All
Plus,
right.
it has special deals sometimes.
Oh, good. Even better. Sweet and
Yes,
hot.
you could sign up for a weekly email that would bring you a number of those free things that were mentioned earlier, as well as special deals.
All right, so we'll have to check out that website. You can also go to ocfl.net, the Orange County website, to get more information. So we are all out of time. We hope that you found this program informative. Orange County Live is a monthly program on the fourth Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m., so mark your calendars. Also follow Orange County on Facebook or Twitter to stay in touch. It's been great being with you. The questions that we couldn't get to during this live program will be answered by phone or email. And let me take this opportunity to thank all of our panelists for taking part in tonight's program, and thank you for watching and being part of Orange County Live. Be sure to join us next month and connect with your Orange County government.